Hello! Welcome sa ating channel. Rauol Manuel wala nang lusot pagkatapos sumuko ang suspek sa pagpatay sa veteranong broadcaster na si Percy Lapid. Napatunayan ngayon na hindi totoo ang mga bintang ni Rauol Manuel na si Pangulong Marcos de Umano ang nagpapatay kay Percy Lapid. Ngayon ang tanong, maaari na bang kasuhan ni Enrile si Rauol Manuel dahil itinuro na ang mga kasamahan nito? Matatandaan na nagsabi si Enrile na kakasuhan niya si Rauol Manuel matapos pagbintangan ang Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Yes.
You mentioned na yung orders na mula sa loob ng Bilibid, makumatrata daw galing sa Bilibid. What are you gonna do about it?
We'll find out sino. Basta nalaman natin kung sino. We will protect the witness to the fullest possible extent. Kasi, malalim yan. I actually have no knowledge yet, no? Na kanya sinasabi. I want to be briefed about it. And I will ask Secretary Abalos to brief me later. Sa loob ng Bilibid, kung sino man yan, dapat malaman natin. Ilan na ba sa atin yan?
The orders okay, PG to investigate, sir, yung nangyari.
To DG Bantag? Ngayon ko lang nalaman yan eh. I just found out now. I will immediately after this meeting, I will tell him to give me a report on this if he has any knowledge already. Because what the gunman said and what the DG knows, we do not know if they are the same. We cannot presume that.
Kamusta po kayo ngayon amid sa controversy po sa inyong anak? And nakausap niyo ba ulit siya?
I haven't talked to him actually since the beginning. I've stayed away from the case. I have not talked to anybody. I have not asked anybody any favor. I just talked to a cousin of mine who's a lawyer who will start or has started representing him already. That's all that's everything that I have to do with the case. I have nothing else to do with the case.
Your reaction na po yung sinasabi na ilang mga lawmakers na may special treatment po?
No, no comment. I will not comment on that. That's something to do with the case already. I will not comment. It will not happen. I will not comment anymore on other issues there. But it will not happen. That is not my call. I am a very honorable person when it comes to this. It's the president's call, and if I feel later on that I am not anymore effective in this position, then I will talk to the president about whatever has to be done in the future. Yes, the moment I arrived, I called him immediately when I landed, and I spoke to him.
Ano pong napag-usapan if you could share with us?
Well, he just said that he commiserates with my plight as a parent. That's all. And he said that just go back to work because we need you. Sabi niya, we have to start working again in the local scene since you were able to do well in the international scene. We need you again in the local scene to do what has to be done. To continue what we've been doing, what we started doing to reform the justice system. No comment. Pero I think I'm calm enough to face anybody about any issue. And if I cannot be baited into discussing things which do not need discussing for me, because as I have said, I've recused myself from the very beginning. No comment on that. We have to know. The charges have to be filed. The conviction has to ensue. And if it's going to be a plea of guilty, it has to be vetted properly. The testimony has to come out so that there will be a basis for the police to act on this matter later on. Because definitely a gunman is not the whole crime itself. It has to be vetted as a whole conspiracy probably. No gunman will be there without a conspiracy.
Pasensya na, sir, balikan ko lang po yung sa anak ko. Nagaling po sa inyo, sir, General,
I've nothing to do with that. He has nothing. He will not talk to me about it. I will not talk to him about it.
Sir, pasensya din po, how is the family? How are you?
We're holding up very well. My wife, my mother, my children, my brothers and sisters are all supportive. And I'd like to thank those people who have sent me statements of support on text, Viber text, and all messaging platforms. No? I appreciate the statements of support.
Kasi patay kamusta rin po yung suporta ng mga taga-DOJ mismo sa inyo?
I appreciate the support given to me by the DOJ and the fact that when this thing happened, people were worried, and we just said, we just go back to work because this will not change the flow of work that we have to do. Because the deadline, as I said yesterday in the flag raising, the deadline for things we have to do in the DOJ is yesterday. We have to really rush to work and finish these reforms that have to be laid out to make our justice system better. Prosecution system, correction system, investigative system, our system for pardon and parole, parole and probation. All of these matters that have to be threshed out. Our land registration, our immigration, things that the DOJ is on top of and has to be on top of to be able to guide these agencies which actually affect our quality of life as a country. The first deportations will happen October 19. I have been briefed by the Immigration Commissioner. 5 or 6 of them will be deported. Self-deportation mo na to that they're paying for. There are 400 more in custody which are being scheduled. China is validating the identities of the persons to be deported if they're really their nationals, if they're overstaying. The BI has already canceled visas of many of those who are working at the illegal pogo outlets. So the work is ongoing right now. No comment. But I know myself. I know. It's not only me on trial here. It's my son on trial. It's the country in trial in some ways. But it's par for the course. It happens. And no more comment on that. No. I have. That's the only question that was asked me by the lawyers, no, who I talked to. And sabi ko, if there's a resolution, do not let it reach the DOJ. Let it be discussed in the court, whatever the case may be. If it's an adverse case against my son, it will not be appealed here. It will go straight to the courts for trial.
Talika ko lang yung may sila. Pasensya ko. Hindi nga po, allegedly galing sa loob ng ito.
Yes.
Na tumatay siya. Ito po palagi po nalilitig na rin yung galing sa loob ng Pilipinas. Meron po ba tayong mga gagawin na mas talaga maiigilin para po matigilin yung mga ganito na yung mga tao sa loob na nakapulutan? Sila pa pala yung nag-uulog?
Ang problema kasi sa Bilibid talaga, kailangan i-uproot na natin talaga. Why? Kasi generations and generations of people under the guards of Bilibid feel an entitlement to the positions that they occupy. And that the temptation there is so great that it's so hard to check on these people. A telephone is being sold inside Bilibid for the reports to be for 300 to 500,000 pesos. That is the extent of how bad it is right now there. Well, you heard about the case where we had the jumpers of 200 houses outside the medium security prison had to be cut off, and that many of the guards are the ones who own it. If not all of those houses were owned by the guards. We have a big problem in Bilibid. That's why we have to reform our prison system, and not only the transfer of maximum security, but the regionalization of prisons is now on the table. I've discussed this. I've been discussing this within the department and with the DPWH for the past 3 months. The design of the prisons and the financial modeling of the regionalized prisons are being discussed already. And we may even be able to build regional prisons without using the national budget. We will just we have a way of doing it. We have a financial model to do this. We have a financial model to follow.
Sir, last na lang, sir, yung mention nga yung mga reforms na kailangan pang gawin sa DOJ. So, di ba kinamabanggaan na with the rest of your son, it would take all your efforts na people don't...
I think that the blessing in this is that people will be more interested to know what we really are doing here for the country. I think that it's something that the country has needed for the longest time. And we were the first ones, not the first ones, we're not reinventing the wheel, but we are the ones who really have the opportunity to do it, because from day one, the President allowed me to organize a team of people who are willing to work for the changes that we are working on. And that is the most important aspect here. Because without a team that you trust, and without a team that you believe in, it's very hard to delegate work. And I believe that the people that I brought with me here, and the people I selected to work on the higher levels, to supervise the lower levels, have been very effective. And we will be continuing to do this, and it will be a legacy-setting administration. And I think that we can be thankful to the President for that.
And just get a clarification lang po. Ano yung talaga yung regulation regarding sa pagpapakita ng mukha po ng mga na-arresto? Kasi meron po mga tungkol po specification sa pag-ruler daw po ng mga...
I think that's a human rights issue, but I will not discuss it.
Pero doon po sa issue ng reforms sa Pilipinas, meron po ba yung deadline or timetable?
Ano to? Ang projection ko kasi, within the next 3 to 4 years, we may be able to build a few regional prisons already. We will work, we will see how it launches within the next 20 months, because we're just finalizing the design of a regional prison that will be standard throughout the country. And then the financial model will come into play when we speak to the local government units about it. Because it will take a lot of work also, cooperation between the DOJ and the local government units. Can you imagine? Because regionalization solves many problems. No? You're humanizing the prison system. The problem with the prison system now is that it is a mega prison, and it does not bode well for persons who should be treated individually, as is the practice now in prison reform. Right now, everybody is just a number. Out of 39,000 people inside Bilibid, how can you just make sure that everybody is treated properly? So when you humanize it, when you put a prison number limited to 2,500, I think that the reform will be better. O sa una-una pa lang, sa simula pa lang, may dalaw kagad ang tao na nakapiit, ay madadalaw na ng kanyang mahal sa buhay. That is the first part of the reformation that a person can get when the time comes.
Ilan yung target natin mamataya? Kasi sabi natin,
5,000 ang target ko by June 30. That's the target that we have set. The carpetas are coming in more regularly now. I think that the Parole and Probation Office and the Board of Pardon and Parole have more than 2,000 carpetas now already. And it has come faster, at a faster rate than 3 years worth of carpetas in some areas, but we've done it in just a matter of 100 plus days. In fact, these carpetas were delivered, more than 2,000 carpetas were delivered in the first 100 days of the president. This is very rare very rare occurrence in our justice system. I think that you in the Justice Beat are aware of how slow they were before.
Sir, ilan po yung inaasahang mass release units ng ating mga PNR?
We have pending with the Executive Secretary 318 names to be set to liberty either by pardon, parole, and other applications of the law. Clemency, pardon, parole, commutation of sentence, acts of grace of the sovereign, as we call it.
Part of the di ba yung napalaya ang makaya ng
371.
part doon na Islamic
Ito pa rin, pending pa rin. But finally, I think that something is being done with the new executive secretary at the helm, who we respect all. We all respect the former Chief Justice Lucas Bersabin. I was with him yesterday. I spoke to him yesterday. And a very positive development for us.
Sir, sa illegal vote sa Bensa na to, meron po kasi dun sa mga na-cancel na or maka-cancel pa lang po yung kanilang mga visa na gusto pong lumipat dun po sa mga legitimate na mga boto. Ang sabi po noon ay mag-aaralan pa po ito ng Bureau of Immigration. That's about that, sir.
We will look at the recommendation of the Bureau of Immigration because somebody in the Bureau has already recommended to me the start of probably a process of amnesty, because this problem has to be resolved for the country. Hindi lang sa Pogo, no? We have so many illegal aliens in this country that have to be recorded properly, and that they are becoming milking cows of many people who should not be doing it. Ano to eh, ito yung mga nakakaawa talaga na aliens. Some of them are undocumented. Okay, their documents, their visas have already expired. Many of them have been here for years. Some of them from birth. So these illegal aliens, we have to deal with them. It's something that all of this mistreatment of foreigners in our country has to stop. Filipinos are abroad. We all pray that all Filipinos abroad are treated properly. So the foreigners in the Philippines should be accorded to the same humane treatment.
Sir, si Senator Gatchalian, meron din po siyang mention na nakakarating po sa kanya mga reports na ito nga po mga illegal voting workers ay nakikita na raw po, well, nalulungol na raw para raw po sila ay makapanatili sa bansa. Do you have reports to that, sir?
That's why sometimes you have to consider all of these suggestions for us. The system was very bad before. If you can imagine that many of these documents were bribe documents. No? A lot of money was exchanged hands when many of these visas were given before. Let's face it, let's call a spade a spade. But nagista na natin ito rito, inabutan ko na yan. So what do we do under the circumstances? So we have to look at this from a practical standpoint as well as, of course, a national standpoint. If there is a national security standpoint, we will speak to the military about it. But we will not ignore any of the important facets of having illegal aliens in our country. But the more important thing, of course, is the fact that there is also international humanitarian law, and you have to be compassionate. No? After all, what is the DOJ for but to serve compassionate justice? I think that is the very aim here that the president has mentioned to me in the past. No? That it has to be the iron hand with a velvet glove. So we have to be compassionate in our ways, in our thinking. That is the way that the society becomes very, very civilized when and disciplined also at the same time. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Salamat.